This is your corner on Fifth. Good morning, Lydia. How are you this morning? Alive and
Good
awake,
morning.
I
Much
take it.
better, much better.
Oh, you're scoring some brownie points here. It's like 3, 4 out of 10. Oh, 5 out of 10. Okay, good to have you, Lids. We're going to continue right along because we're looking at the fractal trajectory in service to assessing growth stages. A fractal is an iterative, a repeatable pattern. And there are repeatable patterns throughout creation. In our own lives, we have iterative patterns. We have fractals. We get up in the morning, we go and sleep at night. Get up in the morning, go to sleep at night. If we don't follow the regimen, something's normally out of kilter. Right. So let's look at our list here because we're getting sort of to the bottom of the list. Number 18 is a retake of 17. So we're not going to redo that one, but we're going to look at 19 because 19 coincides with 22. I'm going to get those two to bleed into each other. But let's look at number 19. It says you can assess somebody's growth stage based upon how quick they are to tell people what to do. Oh, no, just do these 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Finish. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. Right? And some of us respond like that. I mean, just do this and this and this. And, as if life is a machine. Again, very mechanical responses. And people quickly figure us out and say, oh, here comes Miss Know It All. Watch her, watch her, watch her. There she goes. There she blows. You know. But when we talk about pre-specifying relevance, what do you think? What does that mean to you as that description lands on your ear? We are quick to pre-specify relevance.
Yeah, have um, an answer, irrespective of. I'll give one, and this was one that really gave like irked me a bit because it was one that said no matter what was going on, it was just pray, pray. You know, wow. To everything, it was like that was the answer, and it solved the issue. And if you came back or if you mentioned that again, then it was like, well, then you didn't pray hard enough or you didn't say the right thing or. And it's, yeah, as if every scenario is exactly the same. So that's pre-specification, prerequisite in that box, everything must fit, no
Right.
matter what.
It's like a one size fits all. So you just got shot close to your heart. Well, pray. Or you got shot far from your heart. Just pray. And we are so simplistic in our solutions. And then, how about then the person dies? So what's happening here? We are quick to give out advice. Right? And I think often it's a very immature response. We've got advice for everything. You've met some of those. Maybe I say, we've met some of us.
The advice
Confess
one
and
is
say,
great.
yeah,
Everybody's got something to
yep,
to heal you, your
mm,
ailments or
yep,
lose weight or yeah.
yep. Or you must say, I have just met me in the car park. And I listened to me in the car park. And I wasn't too chuffed by what I heard. I said, we're far too overwhelmed and enamored with our own press
Yes.
reports, aren't we? Well, it's because we believe our own press reports. Because we kind of figure if we don't put out a press report about us, who's going to do it? So we may as well do it. And in the process, we shoot ourselves in the foot. Because people are immediately saying, but you're not listening to me. You are more intent on giving out an answer. And all of us at some time or another fall into this trap. And we may be well-meaning, well-intentioned, We want to help. But in the process, we shoot the other person. We take them out. So pre-specify to say before the time what needs to be done, what's on the radar and what's off the radar, and how action needs to be taken. And on top of it, what action needs to be taken and when. Now, what are some of the ways that we can slow down that urge to pre-specify relevance in the first 3 seconds?
Okay,
Just
so
think about
I
it.
think we need to maybe bust some myths, because I wrote down here,
Okay.
because this is how I used to think. If I respond fast enough and sharp enough and seemingly intelligible enough, it reveals how educated, informed, intelligent, fast thinking I am. So that perhaps is could be some of the reason to have these responses initially. So I think they're already, in terms of the myth, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Just the speed and pace at which you respond does not equate the,
Right. It
depth of
means,
thinking.
yep,
Yeah.
it means diddly squat, right?
Yeah.
Diddly squat. Now, just go through some of those descriptors again that you mentioned. Quick enough,
Yeah.
intelligent enough.
Yeah. Yeah. You're intelligible, you're informed, you're educated, your mind is fast tracking, so it's picking up all these things, because it seems as if in today's society, the faster you are, the smarter you are. The faster you can think
So,
through
yep,
something and deal with
mm,
something, it equals this. And
automatically
we mentioned this
works
as
out.
teachers in classroom. Yeah, we already identify that just some learners will constantly, and others require some pace. But just because you are taking a step back and thinking it through before you respond, does not mean that that individual, and I'm talking as a teacher, doesn't mean that that learner's got nothing going on. There's things ticking, and ticking is a good sign of something is happening.
Yeah, but
So,
yeah,
yeah,
we are given to speed. We think because we can, we have this idea that because we can think on our feet, we're smart.
that's the expression. Yeah.
No, to a degree, that may be a sign of smart, but it could also be very deadly because that's all I'm prizing. I don't listen to you. I just fast track on some idea that comes into some tomfool idea that has popped into my head, and there I go. Right? So we delude ourselves, right? I can
Yeah.
think on my feet. I am smart. And that is epistemic hubris, nothing short of it. It is pride and it stinks. How folks will say, oh, that stinks. Yep, there's a stench to it. There's a sewer gas to it. Not you go, boss. Sewer gas. Now think of what sewer gas does. I mean, when you drive over a drain that is pumping sewage, you don't say, "Oh, wonderful smell." And of course, if you're a female, you stand on your ear when you say that. I mean, guys will say, just it stinks, man. But the women will go off like a bombshell. I mean, I went upstairs this morning and I had burned what we call the fly candle down here, is the eucalyptus candle. And it's upstairs, eh? And I go upstairs and I'm sitting down chatting to mom. She says, "Did you leave the candle on?" I said, "No, I blew the candle out long ago." See how sensitive women are to smell. So when they smell sewer gas very quickly, and people pick that up. That you just sewer gas, you blowing hot air now. Just watch how you're responding. You are going off half cocked, as we would say. When you cock a gun, you pull that hammer back, and she engages, right, in certain weapons. Other weapons, you don't even do that. You just fire, you know. Um, okay, so we are on a very interesting, we're batting on a very interesting wicket here. Now let's look at a little further into how can we slow that process? Because we're so quick to do it. What helps us to slow down?
I think you mentioned it earlier. It's listening. Listening slows you down. Making
Oh, that's
observations
too
slows
hard,
you down.
Lydia.
When you're
That's too
driving really
hard.
fast, it's like a car example. If you're driving really fast, you're not going to see all of the houses and the color of the houses, and maybe you saw a cow there on the one side with spots. I think of Isla now as looking out the window, so she's seeing more things. That the minute you're slowing down, it gives you the ability to adjust visually, track, observe. What are you hearing? Isn't also getting in touch with what's happening here? Is there something that I'm feeling, that I'm hearing, that I'm connecting to? Sure, there's so many
Oh,
things
you,
going
you are
on.
saying so much right there. Let's just slow that one down, Lydia. Slow, slow, breathe.
Slow
As they
your
say,
roll.
breathe. When you slow down, it will show in how you're able to track things a lot more carefully. When you're driving at speed, you are not tracking carefully. You're tracking maybe just one thing carefully. Just one. But when you slow down, you're seeing a lot of things that surround that thing that you're tracking. Right? Like in the car, mom would say, "Did you see that?" I said, "No, I'm driving." And of course, males are like that. Males tend to only be good at doing one thing at a time. Don't give them 20 things to do. It's like, what are you on about? Just slow, slow. I have to often remind myself just to keep speaking slowly. You're a lot like me. More excited we get, the faster we talk.
Mm.
Mom said to me the other day, "Oh, you sound just like this morning. You sounded like a teacher in the classroom. I don't like it." And of course, mom has a way of affirming that in all kinds of ways. Like, I don't like it. And I thought, yep, it's exactly what I did and how I came across. So to slow is not an easy thing. Some of us are very excitable, We're like a genie in a bottle. We can't wait to jump out. So sometimes we jump out before the wish is made, and we
Before the rubbing of the
overspeed.
lamp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lamp is not even rubbed yet. I'm already out of the lamp. And then, to go back into the lamp. Oh, no. How can I go back? And okay, so slowing down is a hard one because I need to get in touch with where am I at? What am I? You just said, what am I feeling? That is such a thing that we are oblivious to because the way I'm feeling now tempers what I see and how I see it and
Can
how
I
I
can I give an
respond.
example quickly? Sorry, I just realized
Just one, yes, not
yes,
20.
just so, and there was a recent situation. Dad, there was a recent situation, and in the moment something was happening, and somebody was responding, and I was kind of caught off guard. But I only hours later, because now from that encounter, the emotions took a direction. But hours later, only when I expressed, you know what, actually, if I think about it, this and such and connection, oh, that, and now that's why I'm feeling like this, because there was a ripple effect and things progress. So, sure, it's amazing why I'm just thinking about what you're saying now. That's not the first thought that pops into my head when I'm responding or I'm listening to somebody. I'm not thinking, how is this hitting me? You know, because that can be part of, am I receiving that message fully, or is there something that's hindering me from listening completely? So yeah,
Well,
I
and,
mean, look at that,
and
few hours only.
a few hours later, and to ask the question, how I feel when I hear you say that. Well, that you're not giving advice. You're talking about a response, a non-threatening response, which puts the responsibility on you. When we speak to our wives or our husbands, when I hear you say that, I have an acidic reaction inside of me. Or I have a fearful response. I become fearful when you raise this. Or I go into a raging fury when you say this and this and this. You see, but we are so untrained in that area. Again, relational skill, skillful navigation, being able to feel things and make decisions on what's coming at me and what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. and what ought I to do now? It's like the difference between is and ought. This is the reality. This is what it ought to look like. Now I respond. But if I can't even figure out what is, what's coming at me, what is, how in the world am I going to be close to a solution that I'm giving? And you see, this is what transformation is all about. I even think when you give out good advice, you are in the process of transforming because you're learning something. Now, that person's so impressed by what you said. Or days later, they come to you and say, you know, Liz, you said this and such there and there. And now you rethink it. You say, wow, I didn't even think that was a big deal. But listen to this and you start going into it. And I think there's such a lot of stuff that comes into the transformation process in how we respond to each other that sometimes we are totally asleep. We're in the fourth stage of anesthesia when we give out advice. And we were just to think again and we would figure, whoops, I was totally off the topic. Now, how did I get there? Well, there was something happening in your innards, something happening on the inside that you're totally oblivious to. Why do you react when you hear your husband respond with a certain tone? Just figure that one out. Now, if you haven't, then you must spend some time with it. Just tone. And women are very quick to pick up tone, right? A male will say something and it's the right thing, but it's the way you just said that thing. It's like, I can't take it. Now you also have to figure out, why are you responding that way? It's just not just a one-way street, but I mean, we are focusing now on how we perceive where others are at. And how we perceive that is predicated on our own perceptions of ourselves. Oh, now we're getting just a little deeper now, but you see where we're going. Okay, other ways to slow. Pre-specifying relevance.
I think it's also, I was thinking about, again, a conversation where I felt like I don't have enough information to engage fully. And that's very intimidating because you feel like you can't engage in this conversation because you don't have all of the pieces. And that could be news related, currency, whatever, And I think to slow down is to say, even if someone asks you for an input, perhaps at that point, and I don't think we're okay. I know I'm not always okay to say, I do not have enough information to give an accurate picture of, and
right.
yeah.
That's a wonderful response because that's a truthful response. I actually don't have an opinion on that right now because I don't have enough information. Even if that's my opinion, then I don't have enough information. But why are you asking me that? What's motivating your question? There the discussion goes. Oh, no, I was really just peeved by the fact that she said this and this and this. Oh, okay. So why were you peeved? No. It was the attitude because I've had a previous encounter. And there we go.
Yeah.
I was thinking about one of the ways I like to slow down a convo is ask the questions. Decompose the question. Now, that's a hard one if you haven't tried it. But you need to try it a lot more often than you'd ever think. Why are you saying this, Lee? Why are you asking a question? Now, or just say, let's take your question apart. Your question, first of all, what does your question presuppose? If you say, I believe in the total depravity of man, there are loads of assumptions you've already made in order to make this statement. So now I go back. What does total depravity presuppose? Now you're slowing that convo. That guy wants to go to number 5 because number 5 is perseverance of the saints. He wants to show off now and tell you that he's a 5-point Calvinist, for example. but he doesn't like the fact that you've slowed him right on the first point. So then allow him to go to number 5, but say, can we come back to number 1? What does your question, what does your statement presuppose? Oh, no, it doesn't presuppose anything because the text that I embrace says this and this and this. Okay, can we go to the text? There the discussion goes. Versus, I totally get deflated because the guy has already said, I believe in total depravity. Okay. How total is total? Okay. What's depravity? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Huh. Does that mean entire depravity? Does it mean absolute depravity? Are they one and the same thing? Or are they two different things? There we go. There we go. We get background to the comment and background to the question. Now, we don't tend to do that because we want to be the smarty pants, right? And then we fly by the seat of our pants and our pants tear. And then we have the embarrassment of walking with the torn pants. You know, it's like you find often with men, they would wear socks that have holes in them. And then when the woman or the wife sees it, it's like, how can you wear socks that have holes? Says, nobody sees it, only you know it. That's like, I mean, you have sinned right there because you. Well, now they go up. Do you have holes in your underwear? I said, no. Well, show me. I mean, I'm playing with it now, but all I'm suggesting is there are ways of having good faith convos, even with the harshest of us. Of course, those of us who have an overly strict conscience, we just want to get on with the discussion. Dump the 5 points or the 3 points and then walk away. And some people are ruthless enough, they're not going to allow us to do that. Say, you just dump the truck, then you run. And then we get all irritated, you know. You long-winded. You can't think straight. In the meantime, we don't figure out that we actually the hung bunny in the situation, right? Hung bunny is a Hebrew expression, Lydia, for doof.
Yo, never heard that word before.
I'm a hung bunny. That is not original to me. But Howie Hendricks used to hung bunny. The first time you hear it, say, a hung bunny. Who hangs a rabbit? Who hangs a bunny? Oh no, it's a Hebraic, pardon the expression. It's Hebraic for, and then I just say, being doof. So look how we can. Don't tell Isla you're a hung bunny.
Yeah,
You say,
I love that.
she's going to say, eventually say, Mommy, what's a hung bunny? Oh, no. Anyway. So watch how we can have fun with these things. I think sometimes we take ourselves far too seriously, you know. And we don't take God seriously, you know. Because we make ourselves out to be God. We stand in His stead. So decompose the question. Challenge the assumptions. Go to the assumptions. What are the assumptions? And once the assumptions are given, let's test the assumption first. Because there are some assumptions that are apropos to make. But there are other assumptions we're just pulling out of the air because it's convenient. And it shuts up the other person. Any other ways you can think of, Lydia, that can slow pre-specifying relevance? I mean, I think the asking questions one is big. Probe the assumptions. Ask the questions. Probe the assumptions.
Yeah.
And then I like your comment. There may be time to make a statement, not to ask a question and probe the assumptions, but to say, I don't have enough information on that. Talk to me some more about what you mean by this, you know. That gets you into the discussion, gives you more context. We're always throwing out solutions like they're hanging in the air. Just take your pick, you know. And for our kids, we can rear our kids in the same way. It's like, don't ask questions, just do what I tell you to. Now, there are times like that when you say, Isla, duck. Isla, drop to the floor. That's exactly what you mean, because you're not going to say that, you know, if there's a shooter around. I never forget Uncle Doug was the first one who taught me that because he did military training. And he said, Terry, the moment you hear a shot, and if you've had military training, your instinctive reaction is to drop to the floor. Instinct, Lydia. Now, I've never had military training. So it's like, where does the shot come from? And you first thing you do is look around. Somebody who's trained drops to the floor. Now you understand why, right? And oftentimes we don't drop to the floor first. We first poke out our necks and the danger is going to hit us, you know. But my point is just take a step back, man, 2 steps. Like I said, just breathe. Like you and I must learn that, right? I'm still learning that. Just breathe. Because before the person hasn't even opened their mouth and I'm down the throat. I've hit the epiglottis and I'm going down the esophagus, right into the gut already. They haven't even opened their beak, right? Now, why is that? Yeah, that will be another discussion for another day about why we respond like that. There may be a whole host of reasons. Okay, Joch, Lydia, hey, look where the time goes. But can you see how each one of these opens? And that's why I like this kind of thing because you could have running discussions. You could just pick up a thread tomorrow or in the next episode, you pick up another thread in the same discussion. Why is it that we are so quick on drawing the gun? It's like, you know, I still love Westerns. And the best part of the Western was when they they draw guns. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know? So who's the fastest gun in the West now?
Pick on the draw. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And man, you had Billie Holiday and Wyatt Earp and all these characters. Billy the Kid, they were so fast on drawing the gun, but they also got shot eventually. You know, died by a bullet. So, Lydia, this was a fun one, but it's a hard one. You should really choke on it because think of in our own circles, you know, our religious circles, our spiritual circles, so quick to give out advice, you know. Ooh, I can write a book. And then I probably can write another book. How often I've been wrong in each of those instances. That'll be too convicting. So, any concluding comments here, Liz?
No, I think today was a good reminder again of, for me particularly, checking yourself. When you might not feel like you're engaging in a conversation, but you're receiving something. And for me, it's a reminder of it's okay to slow, especially in this stage I'm in at the moment. It's very fast. Lots are going on at the same time. So just to slow. When you're engaging with people, take it in, slow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, having a little kid makes you very mindful very quickly of, because they pick up your speed and they're going to be fast as well. And maybe she'll have a good dose of dad, so she'll be a little more tempered than her mother. Anyway, that's too convicting. So let's close. Liz, thanks for your time. This has been fun. This has really been fun. I think I'm getting to know me a little more too. And you getting to know you just a little more. That's fine.
Just a little.
Lydia,
Yeah.
have a good day. Being a mommy and packing and all that goes with it. Goodbye
Thanks.
for now.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Cheers.
You're welcome. This is your corner on Fifth.